Okay, today we're playing a game on Oasis. The average SR of this game was 2,318, and we will be playing 1 round as Reinhardt and 1 round as Ana. So not to spoil the surprise or anything, but we only play 2 rounds one way or the other. We are also on the console today, the Xbox it looks like, based on the hieroglyphics, and our current team composition is Reinhardt, McCree, Tracer, Junkrat, Symmetra, and Mercy. So we have a Symmetra on King of the Hill, which is generally not what you're looking for. However, I would rather have a Symmetra than, say, a Bastion. Because if the enemy team doesn't want to actually kill the Symmetra gets to just walk through the entire team and kill everyone. And you can say the same thing about Bastion, but by this point, most people know they're meant to focus the Bastion. Not everyone seems to want to actually focus the Symmetra. The moral of the story is people are bad, to nobody's great surprise. For what it's worth, we do technically have 1 tank and 2 supports. Technically, but we all know better. So let's start the game. So we're playing Reinhardt first on University. And not to spoil the surprise again or anything, but the overarching theme is going to be don't charge so much. So they're Reinhardt, up to some stuff, big plays, unpunished. We shouldn't really do this because, first off, we can already see that we've lost 2 people in the kill feed by this point. And we're also charging pretty far to get this guy, so he just kind of ducks out of the way. We end up pinning somebody else because he just walks through the corner and he's like, oh, damn, fucking Reinhardt, man. Then, Junkrat's body does a fucking lot of damage to us and we end up getting killed. And we have indeed been thoroughly routed and basted. McCree is trying his hardest, damn it, but he's actually going to accomplish nothing except get staggered. And look, some people are still going up there because they don't want to actually wait for the team. You know how it be, you know. So Junkrat's just killed himself somehow. Presumably he was attempting some kind of mine jump over the edge, and it did not work out as according to plan. So, Junkrat hasn't popped out right next to us, and, you know, he does Junkrat things where he throws his mine right at us and he just kind of hops away again. If somebody is right next to you, you're better off just swinging at the dude, usually, because then you can just put your shield up again, like you aren't locked into the really long fire strike animation. And if you're point blank on, like, if you're right in somebody's face, you're better off swinging and then trying to fire strike them if they run away from you, usually. So, enemy team coming in. I don't think I've ever been more satisfied to see a play actually work than right there, honestly. So, we can see Winston's really low HP. Most of their team is actually dead right now, so we can actually just jump on the point and start hitting people. Winston's alive again now. We decide to use Earth Shatter on basically just the Mercy. This is not a great use of company resources because we've already won this fight. Like, most of their team is dead. It's basically just Winston and, Mercy. Junkrat is also here. We also only use it on the Mercy, which, I mean, you know, we really want Mercy dead, but we didn't really need to use the Earth Shatter to make sure it happened right there. No need to charge at this dude. We should just hold our shield up and, like, walk at him. And then we can start hitting him, and we can just, like, let our DPS kill him. If given the choice to try and do damage or blocking for your team, the correct choice is generally block for your team, because that's kind of what tanks do. Much like how a support's #1 priority is healing, and then doing damage is second. A tank's job is blocking damage, and then doing damage second, you know? So, Junkrat uses his tire, and we get, like, bailed out on this one because we decide that we're going to try and charge at the exact same time. Fortunately, our Junkrat breaks it. We shouldn't have really done that. There's not really much you can do about the tire except hope that you have Fire Strike off cooldown and that you can hit it, but charging is definitely not what we want to do. So, Attack Visor's happening, and then we take our shield down to charge at this dude. First off, Tac Visor is still happening when we do this, so that don't do that. It's like almost out, but like still don't do that. But also, we're charging across the realm to try and get this guy. And we get him, so that's great, but he's being healed by Mercy, and now we're out of the way of our team, and we end up just getting hit and killed because we're in this confined location and we're away from our team and all that. No need to do it. We can just hold our shield up and block damage still, and then start inching towards people if we, like, feel like we have to go up there and start hitting people. Like, we don't want to, you don't want to charge across the universe to try and hit someone, because it probably won't hit them because you had to charge across the universe to hit them. When you're trying to pin someone, the idea is just sort of that you want the charge to be as short as possible, basically. You want to be like, suppose you're staring down this Reinhardt, you know, like we're doing right now. Suppose he starts inching his way towards us, right? And we start, like, backing up. But then, we're, like, here, he's, like, here. We just charge, we're, like, right next to him. And if he doesn't react, we pin him against the wall, and our team gets to kill him. We don't want to do, like, suppose we're, like, here, and he's there. We don't want to charge like that, because we have to go, then we have to take the charge so far away, and yeah, we might pin him, but we're going to be in the enemy team, and we're going to get killed. If you're charging someone, you want it to be, like, as short a distance as possible, and preferably in front of your team so they can help you kill the person. You don't want the charge to be, like, miles across. So, we are winning this fight quite handedly, and we again, don't need to do this. It's probably not going to work, and it indeed doesn't work. We still just get to hit the Mercy anyway, but, like, we can just start walking towards them with the shield up and then hit when we get right next to them. You know, it is usually worth trading the Earth Shatter for the Dragon Blade, because Dragon Blade is a very threatening ultimate. But in this position, I just start hitting the Genji, because, like, he's out here by himself, our whole team is around here still. If we just smack him and get some help from our team, we can just kill him like that. We don't have to put this much effort into it. Also, no need to charge here, because you can just hit this dude, and he's gonna get killed. Like, you don't even really need to do anything, because he has got the maximum ire from your team. And because we do that, we aren't in any kind of position to block this when it starts coming at us. So, if your team gets Earth Shattered and you're playing Reinhardt, you should look at it like, I fucked up. And the way we fucked up was we tried to charge somebody that we didn't need to charge. We didn't need to use the Earth Shatter, really, but, like, it does make sure he doesn't kill anyone, at least. But we then didn't need to charge him, and then we're not in position to block it. So, this is not exactly a great use of Valkyrie, so, again, we shouldn't do this. Like, we are rewarded with it and not punished severely, so, you know, great for us. I assume this was accidental, but, we do get a nice look at Reinhardt's fantastic ass. So, we shouldn't have charged. You know, as I had alluded to earlier, the moral of the story is charge less. So, Junkrat used his tire and managed to not kill us, even though it seemed like it exploded like 2 feet above our head, so good job us getting away with it. Again, we don't need to do that. We can just hold our shield up and walk at the dude and start smacking him. It's more the sort of distance you want to go at, but for a pin, but, like, if it's just a squishy dude, and, like, someone like Junkrat, you can just, like, walk up and start hitting the dude. No need to charge him, really, especially seeing as he jumped onto the point by his lonesome again. You know, as people love to do. You might notice they're just kind of coming at us one at a time, over and over and over again. Now we're trying to hit Tracer. We don't know where Tracer's going. Soldier's using Tac Visor. We take a little bit of time to react to it. We start approaching the soldier with our shield up, which is not really what we want to do, because the closer we get to him, the easier it is for him to see over our shield and try to hit somebody, so we should actually be backing up rather than going forward, which we start doing, but we're going forward the entire time. We should actually be backing up, so that our team can, like, collect behind us, rather than us going forward and reducing the coverage of our shield. This is also a pin that we shouldn't really try for. We should still just be trying to block the Tac Visor, but it gets put down by McCree with High Noon anyway. This is a fair enough use of Earth Shatter, but, you know, I was watching it, and I was like, please don't die to his passive. It happened. There was, like, you know, I looked at it like, it's kind of inconvenient that his passive is going to be right there, but you can, like, sidestep this and have it work out, but I was quite sad about that one. It's alright, they got, like, wiped as this happened anyway, and Junkrat and Winston are quite staggered, so we get back in time to take part in this fight. Looks like Lucio got bumped in the pit. Dude, he dropped that beat so good. He's the only one that got the beat, but he dropped that beat real nice. So we can come in here and just start hitting this dude, because he's like one of the only people left. Soldier's using tack visor. Our soldier, that is, so we don't have to worry about blocking it. Here comes Winston. We try to pin him. That's fair enough, but we end up missing it, so that's sad, obviously. And now we're just going to try and bonk the Lucio to death. Did cancel it into the shield. Hit him and then cancel it into the shield, so we could try and block the boop, so that's good. Tracer didn't get back in time to use the pulse bomb all's well. So we're going to change to Ana this round. And I know you are mostly looking for feedback on Ana because that's what the email said. So, there wasn't a lot of inference in that one. I like how even though we're on the Xbox, it still takes like 20 minutes for a model to load in. The benefit of buying the console game over the PC version is that the console version is supposed to work, like, well. But it never seems to, does it? You know? Even though they know exactly what hardware it's going to be on, and they should theoretically be able to optimize it, somehow it never actually works that well. Isn't it incredible? Man, the game industry is such trash, isn't it? Just look at EA. God damn. I'm not going to get too into it. Oh, God. Why, though? I liked Dead Space, and I like Star Wars, but no. Anyway, I'm sure you can assume what I'm talking about. So we do get, like, right on top of these people as Ana. We have gone through a very drastic hero change right now, obviously, because we've changed from Reinhardt to a support, which is a pretty drastic change, but we don't want to be, like, right up on people as Ana. Because the benefit of being a sniper is you can be standing pretty far back, and as a support, you generally want to be standing pretty far back, because it's harder to kill you, because you're further away. You can see more of the map, so you can see where threats are coming from, and you can avoid them. And you can see more of your team, so you can actually, like, see who needs the support and all that. If you're right next to people, it's usually really easy for them to kill you. And Ana is weak to dive, so she doesn't really like people being right on top of her, but we stand, like, quite too close in a lot of these instances. I would also say we've used our cooldowns fairly frivolously in a few positions. This one's fair enough. But we've just kind of been like, we just kind of chucked the sleep dart into that room earlier and like, well, it'll probably hit someone. You generally want to be more deliberate with it than that. And we kind of just came up behind them and like threw the grenade in Junkrat's back, which is not really what we're looking for when we use the grenade. We're looking for a little bit more value than that usually, where we're trying to hit like allies and enemies a lot of times, because if you hit the right people in a team fight, it's basically impossible for you to lose the team fight. Like, you hit your Winston and their Winston, you win the fight. It's just that easy in a lot of cases. I say it's just that easy. It's quite hard to hit both Winstons with it. When it was, if you hit both your Reinhardt and their Reinhardt, that was pretty easy to pull off. Winston, less so. But the point stands where, like, if you hit the right people in a team fight with your grenade, you just win the fight. So we come in here to try and help McCree with that one, because he was in a fight with Baby Diva, which is harder to finish as McCree than you'd think if you don't have your flashbang, because, well, Zero Suit Samus is a very thin hitbox. So, the fight's been happening over here this entire time still. Like, this has been a very long and drawn-out fight. There, Reinhardt appears behind us, which is, of course, very spooky. We do manage to trank him, but tragically we have a Symmetra on our team, which can be anti-synergy for that reason. However, he's more interested in breaking the one turret than actually, like, the rest of the team that's still here, so it doesn't matter. We are, again, moving into the people right now. Like, we don't want to be moving into the people that we're shooting at anyway, because that's just generally a faux pas. But we're playing Ana as well. We want to be quite far away from people, because we can be quite far away from people. We are also, like, really highly prioritizing doing damage over actually, like, healing people. As you can see right now, we're running out these people trying to hit them when there are people around us who have been, like, in a fight, and we're not really worrying about them at all. We are very bloodthirsty when we play Ana, you know. I remember seeing a thread once that was like, what's the most depressing thing you've ever heard someone in Overwatch say? And someone said, I said to my friend who was playing Ana, I need healing. And his response was, hold on a second, it's on cooldown. And it took a second, and I was like, oh. So that easily won that one. So, we're really far forward again. We're encroaching on their side of the map when... If we're playing, like, generally when you're a hero that benefits from range, you want to be up here because high ground is generally pretty sick. If you're Ana, not necessarily so much, because standing back here actually is still, like, far back and hard to get to, but you can see your entire team, because if you're up here, your team can easily line of sight you, like, with all of the underneath of the area, you know, the floor. You can't see through the floor, you know what I'm saying? As shocking a revelation as that might be, Ana can't shoot through the floor. If you're over here, you can see your entire team, and you're still relatively safe. Like, this is the second best position over that if you're playing like Soldier or McCree. But for Ana, or Zenyatta as well, to a lesser extent, this is kind of like the best you can stand in, because you can see the entire point, and you're still hard to get to. Also, if you're up here and you have to run away, like, you have to run back across the point again to actually get to safety. So, it can be harder to retreat from there if you're playing a support, because supports generally don't, unless you're playing Mercy, you know, or Lucio, who is completely different to all other supports, you don't have very many ways to run away from people. So if you're Ana or Zenyatta, it's kind of scary to stand up there, because if you have to run away, it's hard to run away. And you can see more people back here. That was, like, a great job of repeating myself endlessly and, like, meandering around the point. But we got there in the end. That's the important thing. Slow and steady wins the race, which is, of course, a dirty lie. That's the exact opposite of how you win a race. However, it's an adage that we have, so it's what we say. I guess unless you're in a marathon, but like, oh, what about literally every other type of race, you know? 100-meter dash. Yeah, you know, let me just pace myself, you know? No problem. We got time. I hate a lot of sayings, you know? I used to hate the saying, have your cake and eat it too, because I was like, I think it's perfectly reasonable to want to eat a cake that you have, but then the actual meaning behind that one was explained to me, which was that you want to eat the cake and then still have the cake afterwards. And I was like, that makes so much more sense. I'm actually fucking stupid. Ah. Slow and steady wins the race is stupid, though. So we can hear Reinhardt stomping up on us right now. So this is where I'm a dirty hypocrite, because I don't actually listen to the game, because I like to listen to music when I'm playing the game, and I don't talk to people because I'm an antisocial asshole. And if I'm listening to music, what's the point if it isn't loud enough to cause me hearing problems, you know? So, I wouldn't know this was coming either. However, if you're the sort of person who's looking for all the advantages you can get, this is where listening to the game actually makes a difference, because we can hear Reinhardt stomping up behind us. Whereas, if we don't know that, but we don't know he's there until he starts hitting us. But if we're listening, we can hear him stomping up, because Reinhardt is really fucking loud. So we bide our time, and we decide that we're gonna nano-boost Symmetra. This is a very all-in play, because it's basically, there's not very many of us out here right now. However, nano-boosted Symmetra makes people fucking panic, you know? Because just Symmetra in general makes people panic. Here's a pro tip if you're being attacked by a Symmetra, right? Because what people do is they're fighting Symmetra and they're playing like Soldier or something, say. And they're fighting the Symmetra and they start like trying to juke around and they're jumping and like all this stuff to try and juke the Symmetra. It doesn't matter if she's looking at you, she's hitting you. Just like, be patient. If you can't run away from the Symmetra, just make it as easy as possible for you to hit the Symmetra. Like, stop moving if you have to. Like, just move in like a solid direction so it's easier to hit her. Or just, like, stop moving altogether. Because if you're in a position where you have to kill the Symmetra or you're gonna get killed by Symmetra, juking around and jumping and all that stuff doesn't do anything except make it harder for you to hit the Symmetra. That's like Similarly, if you're being attacked by a Winston, you can't juke Winston. So it's more important that you just focus on hitting the Winston, you know? Because what Symmetra tethers to the person, or the Winston's tasing the person, and they start panicking and freaking out. Be cool. Just kill, if you can't run away, just try and, like, focus on, just put all your focus into killing them. And that will save you more times than you would expect, actually. That's the one time you have my permission to stand perfectly still. Because as we all know, generally you don't want to be standing perfectly still if you can absolutely avoid it. If there's a Symmetra on you and you gotta kill her, that's the time it's okay to stand perfectly still. Because it's either that or, like, die anyway, probably. You might as well make it more likely you're gonna kill the Symmetra. So we wave at Reinhardt, as is tradition in this kind of position. He shouldn't be doing that. Like, this is bad for a variety of reasons. Like, he shouldn't be doing that because it's easy for him to get picked off if, like, we had a better team comp. But also, he's just, like, being really bad shield efficiency-wise. So, like, he shouldn't be doing that. We can see McCree is fighting up here, so that's a fair enough use of the grenade because we don't want him to die, because we can see he is in a scuffle. However, try not to throw the grenade directly at people, because that's harder than hitting somebody directly is harder than hitting the ground next to them. I know it's harder to, like, adjust your aim quickly if you're on a console, but, like, it's easier to hit the ground than to directly hit someone with a grenade. So, we know he's fighting, but we also don't want to expose ourselves at the same time, right? So we see he's fighting Pharah, so okay, but that's kind of scary to step this far forward at all, because we can see that Pharah is fighting him, and frankly, she's probably going to kill him, because it's not that hard to hit somebody with a splash weapon in a confined location. But then we get hit by Junkrat from behind, and this is the point where we should just either try and trank him because he's right next to us, or try and skedaddle. But instead, we step back over again trying to hit him, and then by the time we acknowledge Junkrat, it's already too late. Again, we are playing a support. We're more important than that dude, because if we die, our team gets killed. Also, this McCree is terrible because he's actually done nothing but try to fan the hammer into these people like 12 times. Like, don't do that. Just, like, shoot the person. Whatever. He died again. But we're more important than them because we're playing a support. We're the most important person on the team. Well, okay, Mercy is more important than us, but supports are the most important members of the team. Don't expose yourself to try and... Don't put yourself in undue risk trying to save somebody else if they're also probably going to die anyway, even if you do put all your resources into trying to help them. Because you are more important. So, we are getting chased by Pharah, so... We do get forced over in this direction, so that's okay to use. This is an okay direction to go, because you don't really want to stand on the point usually as a support, but we're getting forced this way by Ana. And we do, like, hit, like, our entire team with the grenade before we use it as well, so that's good. We missed the trank. That's a fair enough use of the trank. It's just unfortunate that we miss it. And then we got stunned, actually. We didn't get tranked, did we? We got hammered down right in front of the Earth Shatter, so... Feels bad. What can you do? If you get Earth Shattered, unless you're playing Reinhardt, there's not a whole lot you can do about it, usually. You can be in a position, if you're positioning really well, you can be near cover and, like, get out of the way, especially if you're anticipating it. But, if you're not playing Reinhardt, it's usually really hard to avoid the other team's Reinhardt. Fair enough use of the trank, but an unfortunate, quite a difficult target to hit, so not surprising that we miss it. But a fair enough target to try and hit. Again, it's easier to hit the floor than somebody directly with the grenade, so, like, we end up chucking it past the Pharah. If we hit the Pharah with it, we probably don't die, because if we just chuck it out... She's already, like, low. If we just chuck it at our feet and then punch her, she probably dies. But we chuck it past her because we threw it directly at her, and I know it is still hard to adjust your aim quickly on a console, but it's a lot easier to hit the ground than a person. So, the fight is still not going terribly, because Valkyrie is really strong, right? So it's making it really hard for them to actually kill people. We haven't had a tank this entire time, by the way. Isn't it incredible? Just goes to show you, team comp doesn't matter as much as people think it does. Not to say it's completely pointless, but, especially in lower SR, it doesn't matter that much. So there's no need to try and trank this dude, because he is dead. Like, he is dead regardless. You can, like... Maybe chuck the grenade in there, because you're still going to hit most of your team and people are low HP. But there's no need to use the trank. He is fucking dead. We could have saved the trank for something else. So we are, again, like, really prioritizing doing damage. We've nano-boosted Mercy, which is not a great use of company resources. But, like, we're prioritizing damaging the soldier over healing the team, and healing the team is our #1 priority. For what it's worth, nano-boosting the Mercy might be the only reason Mercy survives that, actually. Because she did drop really low. Either way, we win the round. Doesn't matter. We actually won the game. Man, Ana is fucking strong, isn't she? Holy shit. If I punched the ground, I don't think that's what I think I'd actually break my fingers, but not Ana. She fucking dents it. Holy shit. Grandma is powerful. When is Soldier 76 gonna get a good highlight intro, though? Right? Like, when? I've waited a year and it has still not come. One day. Whoa. High skill play. He put the visor on. And then shot people. Whoa. I mean, you know, people joke, but like, that's what, the play of the game is almost always going to be in Ultimate, isn't it? Because that's when you're most likely to kill a bunch of people, you know? And, whatever. Anyway. Man, I'm just like, I feel like complaining a lot today. Maybe it's because I'm still thinking about EA. God damn it, EA. Anyway. So, things that stand out the most in this match: Reinhardt, charge less, block more. Playing Ana, don't position more cautiously, because we're, like, way too far forward in a lot of situations, and we can be standing really far back. Now, granted, you can stand far back too far as well, because if you're standing way too far back, you're, like, isolate yourself and you're easy to get picked off. So there's, like, a balance to be struck here. But we are standing way too close in a lot of positions. Try to be more deliberate with cooldowns, and always prioritize healing people over doing damage, because that is what you're meant to do as a healer. It's always healing first, doing damage second. And Ana is like one of the only two main healers in the game, so you have to like heal people. You know, people have got to be really careful how they say this, because people are like, we need another healer in the game, because I've got like only two main healers, right? The thing is, people phrase that as saying, we need another support in the game. You gotta be specific when you ask for these things, because don't forget, Blizzard classifies Symmetra as a support hero, even though we all know better. And that she's actually a defense hero. Here's the thing, right? Any game that's like this, the hero releases will always favor the most popular classes. Like, if you look at any MOBA, you can see examples of this. Where, like, the popular roles always get the most releases of heroes, and then the less popular roles always get less, because it doesn't make any sense to put most of your resources into the less popular field, right? We are probably only gonna get one support hero every year or two. So if we gotta specify that we want a new healer, not that we want a new support. Because if we're only gonna get one support every year or two, we don't want it to not be able to heal at all, because that's not gonna help us at all, is it? Because I've seen this a lot the last couple of, like, months or weeks or so, like, people are like, we need a new support hero, we need a new support hero. I agree with you, but we have to specify that we want the support hero to heal. Because otherwise, they're gonna give us, like, the evil Omnic or some shit, and he's gonna have no healing abilities at all. And he's just gonna be like Zenyatta, but instead of our Harmony Orb, he's got, like, I don't know, more Discord Orbs or something. Which is cool, right? But we really badly need another healer, because we've only got two people who can actually main heal. That was, like, you know, a lot of tangents today. That's just how I am. I've got no interest in making concise and salient points. No, sir. No, sir. Only rambling tangents. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.